Today I'm going to tell you all about that other bullshit PlayStation trophy. Charles Montague game is an absolute pain in the arse, and it's probably the most bullshit one in the game because you have to complete a load of these really cumbersome mini games. The first of which is the Yerva, which is basically a quiz of various things within the game's lore, and it's just a ball ache to do because there's loads of answers that it could be, and you've basically got a key in the right numbered answer, and if you get it right the light will go green and you'll go on to the next question. If you get it wrong the light will go red. And one of the most bullshit things about it is if you get a single question wrong, you don't win the quiz. You can't then finish the quiz and then try and instantly restart it because you'll press the buttons but nothing will happen. The machine doesn't reset. You basically have to go there on another loop and do it that time and get it right at that point, which is just really fucking bullshit. It's just really annoying. Once you've done that bit though, there's another one in this area, the Fathoms thing, where you have to find these boxes that contain either a present or, more often than not, a booby trap explosive that will kill you if you stand around by it when it goes off. And this one was a real pain in the ass because the only way to find the boxes is to look on the map that's in the Fathoms area, but there was this one right in the middle that I could just never fucking figure out where it was, and it was an absolute pain to do. After that, you go to the Moxie, and this is where it really starts to get a bit tricky because this one is a sort of puzzle assault course where you press this button and then you get around 3 minutes or so to complete 3 levels of puzzles, and there's 2 puzzles on each floor basically, and there's like laser trap assault courses that you have to do a bit of platforming and sort of ability skill use, so you definitely want to make sure you have the shift ability to sort of blink yourself forward. And these are quite tricky, to be fair, and you can't really make too many mistakes because you're on a timer for the whole thing. So this one here, you got to jump on the yellow lights and not touch the black bits of the floor because otherwise it will go red and you'll fail that area. And you basically, if you fail the section, you have to run all the way back to the start of that bit, press the button again to reset the trap. So you basically got to get through it to the end, press the button without triggering any of the traps. There was plenty of times where the pressure of the time limit and knowing that I've come so far at that point that I would just balls it up, or if I didn't balls that one up, I'd balls the one on the left with the blue lasers, because that one was a right pain to get through at times because I kept hitting one of the lasers coming back on me or something. So yeah, it's a very sort of nerve-wracking trophy to do. It's probably the hardest one actually, because this is the hardest bit of the challenge for me. So basically you need to do it within the time limit in order to get the gun. One of the worst things about it was when I got up to the final floor with a minute to spare, and at this point I thought, yes, I've got it now. What I've got to do is get through these 2 traps that I've kind of gotten used to doing now, and yet I still fucked it up. I failed that one the first time, but I still had a good 40 seconds to do the final one. It was just jumping on these yellow lights all the way across to the end of the level, and then as I thought I was about to do it, I just forgot that I had the bloody blink ability here, and I could have teleported over to that switch because I was close enough, but I didn't, and I just jumped normally, and then the light changed on the floor and I just saw red. And at that point then I'm just panicking because I know I've probably only got about 30 seconds or so left, and I make another mistake, and then I make another mistake and another mistake, and before I know it I've ran out of time. But you will have to reset the day so you can go back to that assault course, because just like the quiz, you can't just instantly restart it there and then. You have to do it on that day fresh, which is just frustrating because then you've got to run through the whole level again, and it's just a bit annoying to just keep failing it like that, because it is quite a tight time limit really, and it is tricky to get through some of them because you can easily just panic and try and go too fast, or like me, you might forget to use that bloody blink ability. So definitely make sure you have that, because that definitely helps. This is one that you'll just get with practice. Eventually you'll get the patterns down and you'll get a good route and you'll get faster and faster, and then you'll just get it and you'll unlock the trophy. And maybe if, like me, you swapped guns, you'll see your gun get stuck in the machine halfway up. But yeah, I think I did pretty well at the end. I got 32 seconds to go, but that still isn't it for the trophy, believe it or not. No, there's still more. Yeah, after that we get another box collecting task. So this one, you have 2 minutes from the start of the level in order to find like 5 or so boxes scattered around the map, and if you don't do it in time, you've then got to reset it and do it again on another day. But eventually I got this one. I think I did it on my first try, to be fair, because I just looked at a guide to see where they all were. And with that done, I thought, yeah, I've finally done it and completed it. But you know what? That isn't the end. There's still more to do for this trophy. So completing that, you get a reward that unlocks in another area. So you have this like open door where the Charlie's game thing is, where you go up to the top of the tower to kill the guy up there. There's a little sort of garage bit that's opened up, and you can get to the safe, and it will give you this code in there in order to open those deal vendors that you'll often see around the levels. So I didn't really know how I would get in those when I was playing through the game, and I just figured I'd see it later. And eventually you do. Once you figure out the code, which is unique to your own game, you can then order items, key items, to go to areas like this valve. So that's what you have to do there, deliver it to a location. You also need to take the battery from the turret and put it in this machine that's nearby, the Harlequin mannequin thing, but you'll notice that it's kind of missing parts. It's missing its head, as well as its the valve and another item. So then you go on a fetch quest going into other areas of the game in order to get all these items. You then have to go to the other deal vendors to get the items that you've ordered and then bring them to this thing in order to fully repair it. And it's just absolute ball ache of a trophy. But eventually, once you've done all of those things, you do finally unlock the trophy. But it's like 4 or 5 different things in one, and I hate it when they just bundle a load of tasks into a single trophy. It just becomes really frustrating because you just hope to God that none of them have glitched out, and thankfully you don't have to do every single one on a single loop. I did these over the course of the game, often dying and resetting loops in between doing all of the tasks, so at least you don't have to do them all again. But yeah, that was a pain in the ass.